Are you looking to buy an Audi e-Tron? Well, if you are, you may want to watch this video because I bought an Audi e-Tron 3 months ago. The car behind me, I've done more than 11,000 kilometers in this car. I've also done about 2,000 kilometers in a SportbacK 55, and I've also driven a bare bones 50. So if you are considering buying an Audi e-Tron, if you're this close to pulling the trigger, I highly recommend you to watch this video to the end because you might learn a thing or two or 5 things you wish you knew before buying an Audi e-Tron, because I most definitely wish that I watched this video before I went ahead and bought my Audi e-Tron. And if you're new to the channel, guys, my name is Chris and I do car videos. So please go ahead and click that subscribe button down below and give this video a thumbs up. Do you really need a large SUV? That is a question you really should ask yourself. If you do, that is fine. A lot of us do. And if you do, there aren't many competitors. I mean, there's the Tesla Model X and the Tesla Model X. But if you don't need, the largest SUV with the biggest carrying capacity, you have quite a few options. So for 100,000 kroners less, 10,000 euros less, with the same range and the same performance, you have the Mercedes-Benz EQC, which is just as good as the e-Tron, but it has a smaller cabin and it has a much smaller trunk. It doesn't have air suspension and it doesn't have the same ground clearance. That has been a complaint of many people, and since it doesn't have air suspension, you don't have the possibility of racing the car on rough roads and where you need that added ride height. But another car is this Jaguar I-Pace. This is an EV320, a discounted I-Pace, if you will. It comes in at the same price as the e-Tron 50, 600,000 kroners or 60,000 euros. And where it's very interesting, it has the same WLTP range as the 400. That means 470 kilometer range, and it also has much better performance than the e-Tron 50. So this is absolutely something to consider. It is even smaller than the EQC. The trunk is a bit smaller. You have a hatchback instead of, the SUV shape, so you have less practicality. On the inside, it is the same size as the EQC, so it is a much different car than the e-Tron, but again, it gives you far better range, more performance at a same price as an e-Tron 50. So that is absolutely something to consider. If you don't need a large SUV, you always have the Tesla Model 3, which in my opinion is one of the best deals on the market today. You can get a nicely spec'd long range for around 450,000 kroners, 45,000 euros. And at that price, that is a bargain, guys. So you've decided that the e-Tron is still the car to get. You still need a large SUV. The next question is, should you get the normal style e-Tron or should you get the SportbacK? The normal style e-Tron has, well, more of a traditional SUV shape, and then it also has a larger trunk. So you get a cut off here on the SportbacK. And then also here on the e-Tron, you can also utilize the space above the shoulder line that you can't do in the SportbacK in the same fashion. So from a practicality standpoint, if you want the largest SUV with the most carrying capacity, well, the normal body style is the only way to go. But this being a normal, SUV shape, it does lose range and efficiency to the SportbacK. The most aerodynamic shape, and this is the reason why all Teslas have this fastback, rear end, is because the teardrop shape is the most efficient. So the SportbacK actually gets about 20 to 30 kilometers more range in the real world. But according to, again, WLTP, the SportbacK only gets maybe like 10 or 15 kilometers more range. The biggest decision to make is 50 versus 55. The 50 starts at 600,000 kroners and the 55 starts at 704,000 kroners. That is a price difference of 104,000 kroners, which is a big chunk of money. But for your extra 104,000 kroners, you get the 55, which has a bigger battery pack. That is mostly what you're paying for. It also has more performance. The bigger battery gives you about 100 kilometers extra range in real world and also according to WLTP. This has a WLTP range of 436 kilometers, while the 50 has a WLTP range of 339, so that's just about 100 kilometers. This also has faster charging. That is also something to consider if you're going to use your cars a lot on road trips or business trips or long trips like I do. I just love the faster charging. This charges in at a maximum charging speed of 150 kilowatts, while the 50 does the same charging at 120 kilowatts, but this also has a flatter charging curve. You can get that maximum speed from 0 to about 79% state of charge, and that really does make a difference. So the extra range combined with the faster charging makes this a beast for long trips. You also get more performance. This does 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 5.7 seconds, and the 50 does the same sprint in 6.8 seconds. This feels quick, while I think the 50 just feels leisurely. It's fast enough, but yeah, it's no racing car. This has 408 horsepower, and the 50 only has 313. Both cars weigh a lot. This weighs in at just below 2.6 tons, where the 50 is quite a bit lighter at 2,445 kilos. But yeah, it's still a big fat car. So that extra 100 horsepower does help you a lot. But depending on where you're driving your car, how you're going to use it, you have to decide if using 100,000 kroners extra to get more performance and extra range and faster charging is worth it. The first thing I would skip would be the S-Line exterior package because it costs 30,000 kroners or 3,000 euros, and it has a front end that is basically the same as this. This is the normal trim, and the only difference is the S-Line gets more aggressive, you know, air ducts here on the side that route air across the wheel for aerodynamics. In my opinion, I don't think that money is worth the upgrade. Another thing I would skip are the Matrix LED headlights. They cost 17,000 kroners, 1,700 euros. And do you know what? The housing is the exact same as in the standard e-Tron. So you're paying 17,000 kroners for a software upgrade. That is insane. That is the biggest ripoff of the year, and it's just stupid. Audi, you should make the Matrix LED headlights standard in a car that costs from 60,000 euros and more. And to be honest, I'm not impressed. I'm actually underwhelmed by the functionality of the Matrix function on the headlights. Yes, they are better than the standard headlights, but it's not worth 17,000 kroners. And if you get a 2020 model or newer, like I have here, you can actually purchase for a limited time the Matrix LED lights function via the app on something called Functions on Demand. You can trial it for about 14 kroner or €1.40 for a month to see if you like it. I did, and I didn't purchase them. I'm renting them for a month at a time because I can rent them for 4 months every year for 10 years and still pay 5,000 kroners less than purchasing them outright. So yeah, I would skip them, just rent them, yeah. If you have a long commute, do frequent long trips, or just spend a lot of time behind the steering wheel of the e-Tron, I would highly recommend getting the comfort seats. Yes, they are expensive, and I think the sport seats which I have in my car are more supportive, you know, on twisty roads, and they look cooler in my opinion. They have a much harder cushion, and also the adjustability here on the lumbar support isn't as extensive as in the comfort seats. And after about 4 or 5 hours on the road, I get pain in my bottom because the seat cushion is just too hard. So if comfort is your priority, I would highly recommend getting the comfort seats because they really are super comfortable. Okay guys, so I might as well go ahead and configure an Audi e-Tron to my recommended specification, the way I think you are getting the most value out of your e-Tron and the best experience out of your Audi e-Tron. So as I said, I would skip the S-Line. The S-Line starts in at 634,000 kroners, and for that you're getting a different front bumper. It looks a bit more sporty, a bit more aggressive, and that even might be a taste thing. I'm not the hugest fan of the S-Line front bumper, and as you can see, if we go through the pictures just quickly, you get different wheels, and then you also get a different rear bumper, but the difference isn't huge. So I'm going to go inspect the Advanced Business. That is the trim level to go for if you're in Norway, but I know also the Advanced Business is also available in several European markets. But of course, your market, your country might have different packages, trim levels, and also optional equipment. So that is something you should research. So as you can see here, it costs 599,000 for the Advanced Business. If I go for the Basic, that is the bare bones, that comes in at 606,000 kroner. So the Advanced Business is quite a bargain, and it has more standard standard equipment than the S-Line. So let's go ahead and go to the engine, and just to make this simple, we are going to just keep the 50. So we're going to go for the white exterior metallic paint color, and as you can see, that is a zero cost option. But you can see we have this black cladding at the bottom of the body here and also around the fenders. I'm not a huge fan of that, so I'm going to delete that by having it painted for 4,333 kroner. That's what that looks like. And also I'm going to choose the S-Line wheels. So now we basically have a very similar trim to the S-Line, though as you can see, we don't have that super aggressive front bumper. We still have those air ducts, but they are much smaller. And also the rear diffuser looks a bit different, but yeah, the difference isn't much. It's not worth 34,000 kroner. So yeah, 606,000 kroners for 28,000 kroners less. You get a car that basically looks the same, but we're gonna put that money to good use because we are going to, yeah, skip the matrix headlights. 18,000 kroners. We are going to exterior design, and then we're going to choose the black roof railing, and then we're also going to go for the black optics package, and now it's looking quite sharp. You can also get this on the S-Line, but it will be the same price. But what you get standard here that you don't get in the S-Line is the privacy glass. That is awesome. We're going to skip the panorama sunroof because yeah, at 18,000 kroners, that small sunroof isn't worth the money in my opinion. But we are going to go for the laminated side windows, the acoustic glass at 6,000 kroners. That is a bargain, giving you an even quieter cabin. We're also going to choose the manual peasant blockers for the rear windows. That is a nice addition if you have children. And then you can see the interior comes with this faux leather. Also, if you chose the S-Line, it will come with fabric seats. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and choose the comfort seats, or the contour seats, which they are also called, because yeah, I talked about these sport seats being too hard for my taste, and if you're not using your car as much as you could save the money. But yeah, if you choose these sport seats, you get the Sport Seats Plus, and then you start adding, you know, options to them, it will quickly cost the same or even more as the comfort seats. So you get the perforated Valcona or Milano leather. You also get ventilation. You can also, for 10,000 kroners extra, get massaging seats. You also, for 1 kroner extra, get electrically adjustable with memory. and you also get the package that also includes the electric mirrors and all those memory functions there. So for 44,481, we are going to add that. But I'm just going to show you guys that the way we spec'd it now already, we are at, yeah, still less than what the S line would cost. But once we, you know, add this, yeah, we are going to be at more than what the S line costs. So yeah, go ahead and add that. So I'm going to keep this beautiful light colored interior because I am a huge fan of light colored interiors. Just feels very special, especially in wintertime. So let's go ahead and choose the heated 4-spoke steering wheel. For 2021, you can combine this with adaptive cruise control. You couldn't do that with my car, which is a pity. And I'm also going to go and choose the ambient lighting package plus, which is at a discounted price with the advanced business compared to the S line. I'm also going to choose something called the optics package, which gives you these buttons down here in glass instead of the plastic buttons, and also the window switches are galvanized metallic instead of plastic. It just elevates the interior feeling, just the quality of the interior, and at 2,600 kroners, that isn't much at all. And also, if you can, go for the full Balcona leather upper dashboard and also on the armrest on the doors, and also the center console where you rest your knees, because that just with the leather interior, it just elevates the quality feeling that much. It gives you a super luxurious feeling. You can go for the, you know, the faux leather, but yeah, I would spend that 9,000 kroners extra. I regret not spending that 9,000 kroners extra. And also, I would also add the Bang & Olufsen 3D sound for 14,000 kroners. And then you have the 4-stone climate package, which gives you rear seat heating for 10,000 kroners. I would add that. And also the advanced key, which gives you keyless entry and keyless go for 10,000 kroners. It is a bit pricey, but I hate pressing the button to open the door. I know I'm a bit weird, but I would most definitely go for that. And as you can see here, the Assistant Package Tour, which gives you adaptive cruise control, is standard with the advanced business. That would be a 20,000 kroners extra on the S line. So speccing this spec for spec, this is going to cost 100,000 kroners less than an equivalent S line. 360 camera for 14,000 kroners is a must-have in a car this size. So yeah, there we have it. So at a total of 736,000 kroners. So that's options for 136,000 kroners. I think it is worth it. You can of course save on equipment if you want, but if you want to get the best spec'd e-tron for the price, I think you have it here. So yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful example of an e-tron. I hope this video has been informative, and for you guys who are actually looking to buy an Audi e-tron, I hope this video will make your buying decision a bit easier. And who knows, maybe I even persuaded you not to buy an Audi e-tron. But at the end of the day, what e-tron would I actually go for? Well, I'm not sure anymore because there are many choices. I'm very happy with my e-tron, the way I spec'd it. I would probably do it a bit different next time. And I also am drooling over the SportbacK because at the end of the day, I'm craving something more a bit exciting, like the e-tron S I have behind me. And I have this car for the next week, so maybe in a week I will have made up my mind. But yeah, I've been drooling over this thing for a long time, and finally I've got my hands on it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always guys, please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.